Hello again. My name is Greg Gunn, and this is...
I'm Scott Rothstein, the executive producer at Blind and the Future. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Today, we are going to be talking about the do's and don'ts of submitting your resume or portfolio or email when you're reaching out to an agency. Key points, or key tips, I should say, from when you guys are submitting. And I'm going to start. Number one is only show your best work. As I mentioned, we do receive a lot of submissions. So stand out from the rest. You know, we don't have time to necessarily sort through every frame, every video, everything that you've done from art school, from middle school. You know, just really stand out. We want to see what your best work is.
Quality over quantity.
Yep.
Okay. Put your best stuff first, cut the rest.
Yep. Clearly identify your role. A lot of times, you know, there's multiple hands touching a project. So it's not very clear for us when we see a video or see frames that you've created or just whatever it may be, exactly what role you played in that.
Make it easy for us to understand what your skill set is. Whether you're a specialist and you do this one thing really well, or you're a generalist, tell us where your strengths lie. And for the love of God, don't lie about it. And don't tell us you can do something that you can't do, because it hurts both of us.
Another thing that we like to see when you are showing us the work is a little bit of context of the project itself. So not only is it defining your role and, you know, telling us what the job is, but we like to kind of go a little bit deeper and kind of find the steps that it took to get to that final product. So whether it is showing some of your early work in progress frames or just, you know, different versions of things like that, case studies are great. Tell
us a story about how you got there. 1 + 1 + 1 + 1. Don't just tell us the answer. Share with us how you think, how you approach work, so we kind of know what your process will be like, you know?
Okay, so another pet peeve, or I would say a huge pet peeve of mine and also some of the creative directors here, are people who do not update their portfolios or reels. If I do see something that outdated, I will probably quickly move on to the next candidate and try to find something that's a little bit more relevant. I do think it's important to just know what role it is you're applying for, what role you want, and really specialize and customize that to be specific for that ad that you're applying to, or just in the general inquiry that you might be submitting for.
Make a custom website or a custom page, at least on your website, for that company. So when they go there and they look at your stuff, they're like, this person is perfect. They would fit right in. You know, you can have more than one portfolio, and you know, you don't have to like show them all. You can send different studios different links on your website that, like, you know, rearranges projects and curates them, or changes the writing, even the color or something. You know?
Beyond the work, how else can you do that? Let's see some personality from you, and let's make sure we're just a good fit culturally. For me, it's just comparing what is the client ask and what is the role I'm looking for, and is this person kind of a fit to identify both. I hate generic cover letters. Don't copy and paste. We know when it's a copy and paste job.
A good exercise to do maybe is put yourself in the position of you're the one doing the hiring. Imagine you put an ad out or something saying, hey, I need help with something, you know, and then you get a flood of emails back, you know, like 100 a day kind of thing. And they all say, to whom it may concern, or whatever. And like, you start to see a pattern over time, and you're like, all right, these people are just going for, you know, like mass exposure and quantity.
The first big one is be responsive and follow up. If you see that email, respond to me right away, because the longer you take to get back to me, the more likely it is that I'm moving on and I'm going to hire somebody else. With that also is, you know, be clear on your rates. You know, when projects comes in and we have budgets, before we staff up jobs, we kind of mess around with numbers to make sure that we can afford certain people or how many people and for certain dates. So it's very important to be clear on what your regular day rate is, your weekend rates, any overtime, stuff like that. You know, we might try to negotiate back and forth with you, but I don't want to be sending a bunch of emails back and forth or bring you in here, and then next thing you know, you throw me a curveball and it screws up production. Next one is just your contact information. We're talking about whether you're sending attachments or your portfolio, things like that. Make sure it's very clear. You know, of course, I have your email address since you're emailing me, but you know, I want to know your website address. I want to know your phone number. You know, your all that stuff, because if I have to dig around and try to find how to contact you, I'm probably not going to do it. So yeah, thank you guys. Really, really appreciate you guys tuning in, and hope to see you again soon.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you later.